So, here's something you don't see every day in Cincinnati. The Bengals just made a move for a name that might surprise you. Veteran defensive tackle Mike Pennel, a two-time Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, he's coming in through the practice squad. Now, normally when you hear practice squad, you think about younger guys, rookies, or players still trying to prove themselves. But Pennel? He's 34 years old, bringing experience and toughness that could give the Bengals defensive line some real depth. And honestly, seeing a player with that kind of resume on the practice squad is rare. It makes you wonder if the Bengals have bigger plans for him early in the season. But before we dive deeper into what this move really means, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss any Bengals updates. Now, let's get into the real news. Pennel isn't just a random veteran pickup. He's known for his ability to stuff the run, something the Bengals could definitely use when it comes to slowing down strong rushing attacks in the AFC North. His run defense grades in the past have been impressive, and while it's been a few years since his prime, experience like his doesn't just vanish. The big question now is, will Cincinnati keep him tucked away on the practice squad, or could he be elevated to the active roster sooner than expected? Now here's the part that stands out about Mike Pennel. Even at 34 years old, he's still producing. Just last season, he recorded 3 sacks, the most in his entire NFL career. For a defensive tackle who's known more for stopping the run than rushing the passer, that's impressive. It shows he still has gas left in the tank. Pennel's journey across the league tells its own story. He began in Green Bay, made stops with the Jets, had his biggest success with the Chiefs, winning 2 Super Bowls, then moved through Atlanta and Chicago before circling back to Kansas City. And now, he's wearing stripes in Cincinnati. So why does this move make sense for the Bengals? Simple. Depth and experience. If run defense becomes a problem, or if someone like B.J. Hill faces setbacks, Pennel is exactly the type of veteran who can step in right away. Remember, Cincinnati was already looking for more defensive line help after missing out on a young Jaguars draft pick who ended up with the 49ers. That makes signing a proven veteran like Pennel the smart backup plan. The real question is not if he'll get elevated to the active roster, it's when. Here's another key detail about Mike Pennel. He's durable. Last season, he played in all 17 games, which tied the most appearances he's ever had in a single year. Across his career, he's suited up for 138 games, a level of experience most practice squad players simply don't bring. Statistically, Pennel has just 5 total sacks in his career. And that tells the story. He's not coming in to pressure quarterbacks. His true value is as a run stuffer. In fact, last season he graded out at 70.2 in run defense, showing he can still clog lanes and hold his ground. Pass rushing? That's never really been his strength. But when you're trying to slow down teams that pound the football, guys like Pennel are exactly who you want. Think back to the Bengals' preseason struggles. Cincinnati was giving up an average of 176 rushing yards per game in just 3 matchups. That exposed a weakness. So bringing in a veteran specialist to tighten up the run defense makes complete sense. It actually feels a lot like when the Bengals once picked up Lawrence Guy, an older, experienced lineman whose role was clear: stop the run and stabilize the defense. At 34 years old, Pennel fits that same mold. Now here's where the move makes even more sense. The Bengals' defensive tackle room is young, full of players still carving out their roles. Adding a veteran like Mike Pennel doesn't just bring production, it brings leadership. A guy who's been through playoff runs, won Super Bowls, and fought through 10+ years in the league can provide stability in the locker room and on the field. What's interesting is that Cincinnati placed him on the practice squad instead of the active roster. That decision speaks volumes. It shows the team feels good about the defensive linemen they already have starting and don't want to make cuts just yet. At the same time, it keeps Pennel close, ready to be elevated if needed. The strategy is smart. Nobody is rushing to poach a 34-year-old veteran off a practice squad. If another team wanted him badly, they would have already made that move. This way, the Bengals get to stash Pennel, keep their roster intact, and still have an experienced option ready when injuries hit or if the run defense struggles again. Bottom line, don't be surprised if we see Pennel in a Bengals uniform on Sundays this season. His presence almost guarantees he'll get his shot. Most practice squad additions are simply depth moves, guys you keep around in case of injury or for extra rotation during the season. But Mike Pennel feels different. This isn't just a name to stash away. He's the type of veteran who could realistically step on the field and make an impact when the Bengals need him. No, he's not a flashy signing. He's not going to rack up big sack numbers or dominate highlight reels. But what he can do is fill a very specific role, clog the middle, anchor against the run, and give this defense a dependable option when the trenches get tough. It reminds me of past veteran pickups like Lawrence Guy. Solid, unspectacular, but important. And honestly, I think we'll be saying Mike Pennel's name at least once this season. It might be after a big third down stop or in a key late game situation, but the odds are strong that he'll have a moment in stripes. For a practice squad move, that's a win.